had the chance to hear the stories of some of our customers with Payoneer. You've heard the stories of Clark outsourcing, telework, the back room. And what's really interesting about Payoneer is that we get to know our customers in every part of their journey, be it they start as a freelancer or they grow as an agency with 10 employees, 50 employees, and then maybe thousands. Sky's the limit. But now, with this particular session, we will be hearing about the stories of three of agencies here in Clark. And we're just excited to learn something from what they have to say. So yeah, Alain, Vanessa, Yassin, I'm really happy that you're here to join me. Okay, let's start. Please tell us something about yourself, how you started, and maybe some roadblocks from the point that you started until now.
Oh, sure. Well, I think that's, a good question to ask to start with. I think a lot of people here came from, the BPO industry.
Yeah.
I myself too. I started off working for an Australian company called Telstra, and since then, I've been wanting to start my own company. And Strategic Assistant Services it's a virtual assistant company, and it was founded by 3 young entrepreneurs, I would say, because I'm young. So I'm part of it. And one of the co-owners, he's a cyber security sales executive, and he actually trusted us. Because he's based in Michigan. And he trusted us. And I would say, to answer your question about the challenges, it's kind of weird because I think I would say that the challenge is growing fast and growing early. Because we have this American partner. He's vouching for us. There's like more than 100 business owners in his Rolodex, and he wants us to, to be an inclusive partner. And I do believe that we're not ready for that growth yet. And I think keeping up with the demands would be our, biggest challenge. And I would also say that, how we handle it is to really invest in our talent. Like what mentioned before, we need to invest in the leaders. And I think I'm scared to death, in terms of maintaining the customer experience, because what would happen if, we were handling like 100 clients already, how we would oversee that, And that's something that we're working on. And I encourage also everyone, because I don't have a business background when I started this company. My only background in the BPO before is I was a call center agent. I was trading. I was a day trader, so a bit of finance, but that's it. I started off when I was 28. So I think we have other young people here to attest that we can all do this.
Okay.
So that's it.
I think we should just talk about that later on, like what's holding you back, what are your thoughts regarding that. But thank you for sharing us about yourself. Vanessa.
Okay, well, I don't know many Tagalog words, so it's privilege for me. Well, we're pretty blessed because we're a family-based business. As you may have heard, I work with my 4 sisters. We're a mixed Filipino-Australian. We've got a little bit of Dutch in us, so we're a mixture of everything. And we like to bring that to our company, actually. So we're really infused with so many cultures, and I think that's very important. A little bit about us is we started as freelancers. So I think a lot of people here could resonate with that, and I think the big thing for us is that it started with just me and 2 of my sisters who are here today in that middle table there, wearing yellow and black, our theme. And yeah, we just started off making logos, websites. It seriously started as simple as that. And when we came to the Philippines in 2019, we had the dream of expanding that business and hiring people to do the work with us because we had too many clients, we couldn't do it ourselves anymore. And that's where the dream started. We actually thought we would only do a BPO just for marketing. We thought that was our speciality. It was something that, you know, we knew, it was our expertise. And it turned out to be so much more than that. And that is a testament to the talent that's here in the Philippines. And it helped us to actually expand our business. It actually helped us to open our eyes to what more we could do here. And that's kind of our origin story, how we started it. And yeah, I think that's in that itself, I think the challenge was being open to new ideas. I think when you first get started, it's very similar to what some of the speakers were saying. You've got a plan, and you think, let's stick to that plan and do that. But be open to change and to pivot and to, open your mind, try new things, don't be scared. Take the risk. You may as well try doing it and fail rather than not doing it all and still fail. So give it a try, and yeah, that would be the challenge and the advice.
You did say that you opened the business with your sisters.
Yes.
So that makes it an all-female company.
Yes, all-female company. Even our HR, our finance department, our recruiters, we are all female-based. We didn't do it on purpose, I swear.
Let's give them a round of applause. Yeah.
Yeah, we're very proud.
You're accepting male applicants?
Of course. For some reason, I don't know why.
Yeah, maybe I have to rethink my decisions. And
Yassin.
Yeah, well, great takeaways. First of all, I'm impressed everyone's still here. So, round of applause for everyone, for the awesome crowd. Thank you for being with us on a Saturday. I know, you're away from your family. We're all here to grow. So I'll keep it short, hopefully. So Origo BPO, we're focused on multi-location, mid-market companies in English-speaking countries. We just crossed 300 employees, actually, yesterday. So it's quite the milestone, and we're growing, with God's grace, 3-digit growth year over year. Challenges other than keeping my marriage while working 24/7. That's a shout out to my youthful asawa in the crowd back there. Really, biggest challenge is changing consumer and customer demand. When the pandemic hit, it's labor arbitrage is not cutting it anymore. With the existence of platforms like Payoneer, Upwork, you can hire people directly, you can pay them directly, people are working from home. How can you justify a BPO value proposition when all you're doing is recruiting? So we had to pivot from that model and add more value-added services so that we can expand our accounts, right? Back to, I guess, Marge or Derek's comments about land and expand. So to do that, we had to, mature our capabilities, and the biggest bottleneck for maturing our capabilities was really a leadership team. I tried to do everything myself, first 2 quarters of 2021, right? It didn't go so well. So we were asking the wrong question. The question we were asking back then, what should we do and how should we do it? And those were the wrong questions. And, and the right question was really who, right? Start with who. If you get the right who, if you get the right people in the right seat, they'll figure out the what and who. So we immediately hired our first executive. I want to give shout out to Maria, our VP of People. She has assembled an Avengers-like leadership team. And now we not only are giving our partners and clients just the people, but we're looking at, okay, how can we optimize your process? How can we move you to the cloud? How can we help you drive your decision making using data? So that's where we're seeing a lot of growth, and it's been a challenge. We're still a challenge, but with the leadership team, Mario, Gaia, Joyce, and everyone here, the future is really bright.
Cool. Now you mentioned pandemic. How is post-pandemic happening for you? I mean, we know what's happening in the global arena, but personally, with the business, how is it turning out? And what weren't you expecting that somehow it's happening now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can start with.
Yeah, so I hate to say it, it's been a blessing for us.
Oh.
we've only accelerated during the pandemic. Our clients, a lot of them are private equity backed, VC backed companies. They realize, with the credit crunch right now, money is getting expensive. They have to get more for every buck. So they realize, those who had 20 seats with us are now over 100. Those who were like 2 seats are now over 10. They realize that not only can we provide, I know we don't like their cheap labor, but not only they're realizing labor cost is lower, but we actually kick ass and deliver more productivity than their onshore team. So an example, if the billing department onshore is sending 50 invoices, we send 70, and we're 70% cheaper. So the pandemic has only been a blessing for us. Our clients are realizing, the game is global employment. No longer is it local, right? So we're giving our clients the advantage of competing locally while operating globally. So that's been, the biggest realization out of the pandemic. So maybe a little bit on the upside, I'm more of a cheerleader and, half full kind of guy.
I'd like to open that question to everyone here in this room. Who is nailing it now post-pandemic? Whose business is really doing very well? Come on.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Round of applause. Well done. Okay.
Vanessa, how's everything?
Yeah, I think for us, we were, as I mentioned, we were doing freelancing for about 5 years before we launched our offshoring business. So for us, I think, as freelancers know, it's really up and down, and it's very hard to maintain sometimes. And I think that's a challenge in itself. So for us, when we brought on the offshoring opportunity and having staff to do work for clients for full time, that was a huge eye-opener for us. And it was an opportunity that we thought, maybe we can do something bigger and greater with our business by offering this, and we did. Again, the pandemic was a blessing in disguise. It was something that allowed us to connect with other countries without, and let it be borderless. A lot of the times before that, I think other BPOs might be able to attest to that, is that it was really challenging to get over the remote factor. The fact that people weren't there in the office or there in that country. And I think that's the huge thing for SMEs specifically. They had to feel the level of trust to do business overseas. And being that they're small, their money matters, and it really has to go a long way. So that's the challenge that I think was a blessing in one way, but it was also a challenge because it means that when they're spending that money, they really want the value back. And I think that's where it comes to training the staff that you put on board to match with that client. It's really important that they understand that as a staff of that client. They need to know that how much that value is to that client, and that's how I think you can build the relationship and the bond to make a successful partnership between them. And we always say in our business, the first seat really matters. If you get it right the first time, you can grow it from there. So,
oh, baby.
So it's very important, as Derek mentioned, those first 3 months, that customer experience, that feeling of connecting the right person with the right client is so important. And you've got to keep that service going. You can't just sell the seat or sell the service and then say, okay, great, next. You've really got to focus on that client and really keep delivering. And those first 3 months, there's a lot of little problems that pop up. Leave, how does the leave work? And, is that deducted? Is it paid? And is it accrued? Is it, December holidays? 13-month, that's a fabulous one trying to explain to, people in Australia and the US. They think, what is 13-month? So it's fabulous trying to explain those things to people, and it usually comes out in the first 3 months. So enjoy that journey. Don't get stressed out. In the beginning, I used to panic. I was like, oh crap, this email. I'd be like, oh my God, they're complaining, or they don't get it, or I thought we explained it on the onboarding. But don't. Just enjoy that. Be transparent. Be honest. If you made a mistake or you forgot to put some information there in your terms and conditions, be honest. Just lay it out. Talk about it. Communicate. There's nothing wrong with that. customers, especially in the US and Australia, will really appreciate the honesty, and they prefer that than trying to hide it or, go sideways. So just be honest, no problem.
Alain?
Yeah, I think it's the same with us. If pandemic didn't happen, we wouldn't be here. We actually saw the opportunity. Pandemic actually expedited many things, like the progress when it comes to acceptance of digital money, right? GCash wasn't that popular, and then GCash became instantly popular because of pandemic and acceptance of the work from home setup. Okay, I used to have clients in Japan, and they don't really buy it, the work from home, because of many reasons, and yeah, due to the pandemic, a lot of things, it really changes a lot of their beliefs, and yeah, I would say that as for our company, actually one of I would say two of our co-founders, they came from the BPO, and if pandemic didn't happen, they're still working, and we haven't started a company, so yeah, that's what it is, and hopefully we continue to grow.
Do we have questions from the audience?
Yes, okay, we do actually. This one, let's start it off with for Vanessa, actually. So what can you advise to those virtual assistants who are dreaming to also have their own staffing agency? How can they start?
I would say keep it really simple. That's something that we really value in how we offer our service. I know some people have really extensive, terms and conditions or quotes or anything, and keep it really simple to start. Don't get too caught up in trying to have everything complete. Learn as you go. You've got your background as a VA already, so you know what's the process of being a support to a client. Now all you've got to do is multiply it. But of course, get some terms and conditions in place, make sure you get paid as well. That's the hardest part is, getting that payment first and being strict on your payment too, One thing I can remember is when we first started is we were really low in our pricing, because we didn't value yet, what we could do or what we could offer, and I think it's really tough to do that. So yeah, put your value in place, stand by it. Some people won't agree with that price, but if you believe that's the right price for you to offer, for you and your staff, for the service that you provide and the quality you provide, stick to it, stick to your guns, and the right client and the right staff will find you.
Thank you very much for sharing that. We hope that helps. Here's another question, and actually any of you guys can answer this. What are your suggestions, or perhaps a suggestion, in attracting high-paying clients? Yassin, would you like to start?
Yeah, 2 words: value creation. We're in the results business, and I was having a conversation with Zach, how do you balance performance but still maintain a healthy culture? And I was thinking about marinating on it, I was like, it's probably merciful culture of high performance. You gotta deliver the results, but you gotta be merciful on your people. So if you wanna attract high value, $1 million plus clients, you gotta focus on what's the end results. No one cares about customer support, no one cares about billing, no one cares about collections. At the end of the day, what is the result? Cash flow, profits, productivity, valuation, operational improvement, high NPS. Focus on the results, and frankly, the X factor is get paid on results. Right? The only way to differentiate yourself from the Accentures or Tier 2 BPOs is, hey, let me deliver the results, pay me a little bit up front, right? And let my performance prove my value. Because then I'm going to charge you for every dollar of operational improvement, I'm going to charge you accordingly. If I'm bringing more value to your business, I want more money. right? I want more money. If I add value, I want to get paid for it. And I think it's a really great symbiotic relationship. And your enterprise mid-market, they're all about performance, especially if they have investors. All they care about is bottom line. So how can you guarantee bottom line results? I think that's my take.
This again goes back to what we've been discussing earlier, which is those first 3 months of trust and really showing them what you're made of. Vanessa, you'd like to add?
Yeah, I was just going to add actually, and I was chatting with Marge about it a little bit before, is I really believe strongly in finding the right clients. The right clients will pay the right money for the right staff. And we always even say to our staff, don't ask for an increase. Don't ask for a performance bonus. Let your work speak for itself. And I think that's so important. Sometimes, of course, we all think I'm the best and I do a great job and I work hard and I put my heart into it. But let your client, let your company, let them see that. And a good company and a good company culture, a good leadership, a good management, they will see it. They can spot it. Don't worry. So you will get your earnings. It's automatic. We always say, that to our staff is hard work always pays off. So whether you're a freelancer, a VA, a company owner, whatever it is, hard work always pays off. So put in the time and it will come back to you double.
Thank you very much, Vanessa.
Smart and hard work, right? Farmers are the hardest working people on earth, yet they're paid the least. Hard work doesn't necessarily always equate to money. It's smart and hard.
All right, thank you very much. Good point. Yes, would you like to add something to that, Alain?
Yes, I think they pretty much said everything. Just to add a little bit, I totally agree with what Yassin said earlier. You've got to always over-deliver. And the reason why I'm quite afraid that we grow too fast is because when we grow, most companies compromise the quality, the customer experience, because they grow too fast, and that's what I'm really afraid of. So I'd rather have a small company, but all the customers would be just, talking about how Filipinos are good in terms of work ethic, professionalism. I also learned, I think it was Derek who mentioned about the fear, the apathy. I'd also like to touch a bit of that because most of the clients would always ask their fear of data privacy and security, because we have clients like, they're small to medium companies, they're just starting, and some of them will be working hand in hand with a VA in terms of, creating their business model, proposal. So it's kind of like, it's hard to entrust that to someone that's working remotely that you haven't seen face to face and all. And, how do we manage data privacy and security? How do we, oversee everything? So I think once that's addressed, that's I think super huge. It's mentioned 99% is the untapped market. So I think it should motivate everyone here, that it's a blue ocean market. And Vanessa and I were talking, and we don't even consider ourselves each other competitors. Like, we want to help each other, and we're one here. We have the same vision, we have the same goal, and we should be working together. And I think that's it. That's why we're here.
We love that mindset and of course that energy as well, and I'm sure that's inspiring a lot of us here also. We do have more questions. Another one that is addressed to all of you. If we will listen to our employees, according to someone here, they would prefer to work from home rather than to report back to the office. So how is it possible for us not to lose the government incentives and at the same time still have our employees work from home? Perhaps any of you have something to add to this.
Yeah, Maria would be the best person to answer this, but multiple entities in different regions. Look, I've never wore pants to work, right? Age 22, I was running a team in Pakistan of 20 developers while I was in Lebanon. So for me, I've always been remote. And I would never want anyone to have that level of control over my freedom. I want to work from wherever I want, with whoever I want, and do whatever I want. And I want to give that to our people. So frankly, that's been a debate at our company. Like, I'm willing to lose the incentives because I'll get that back in productivity, in retention, and happiness. But thank God the government is starting to listen. We're seeing that support. We're still not there yet, but we're on our way. But multiple entities. Yeah.
That's actually great news. Vanessa, would you like to add to this?
I don't have a very strong opinion on it, I'm sorry. We've been fully work from the office on site since we started. And just the reason why we love it, it's not about the incentives or what we get, it's just about the work culture. We just want to be able to have people come to work, see them smiling, give them that hand, high five, and just be able to connect with them. And I think we don't want to lose that, in times where it's getting harder and harder to be social, where we're all socially awkward, it's nice to be able to connect with people and see them, and get out of the house sometimes, and put yourself in a different environment, do team building activities, get an orange a day for health. Little things like that is I think, really hard to give up.
Thank you, and Alain?
Yeah, no comment.
All right, that's fine. So ultimately, it's up to the company's priorities as well, and what it is that you would like to put first, right? So, and hopefully, it does progress in terms of how the government is handling it as well. So, thank you very much, Patricia. Would you like to close the panel?
Maybe just one takeaway for everyone from each of you. If you were to advise, just one small advice, what would that be?
Value-driven pricing.
Value-driven pricing. For you?
People-focused.
People-focused.
No.
No comment? No. Exceed expectations.
Exceed expectations. All right, I think that does it.
Thank you very much to our great panel here today, and thank you for sharing your experience, your wisdom, your insight. Once again, a round of applause.